Get powered.
Man, great presentation. All right, so this is not going to be a traditional pitch deck. We're solving problems we never set out to solve, right? And so we're being pulled by our clients right now to do just some amazing things, and all our really cool stuff is under NDAs, so I can't talk about them. So instead of that, I'm just really going to focus on the technology that we do and try to answer some questions, some general questions about what we're solving, if that makes sense. So Spacee stands for Spatial Experiences. We do mixed reality, or what we call spatial augmented reality. We require no phones, no devices, no glasses, no helmet. So it's in real life. We use projectors and computer vision to achieve this. So I don't have any videos here to play, but if you go to our YouTube channel, you can watch all of this stuff on YouTube. This is about, I don't know, a year and a half old now, but this was our first project called the Touch Car. And so what happened is we're projecting an image of an engine on a car, and you walk up to it, and we turned a Mercedes C300 into a touch screen using light only, right? So as you touch the hood, it reacts to you and it tells you information about it. You can kick the tires and get, gas mileage, and there's some really cool branding on the side. But we learned something, and again, I encourage you to go look at this because it's so much more powerful in video format. But we learned something. We just thought we were building something cool, right? What we found was we sold 3 cars in the first 45 days of launching, and I don't mean same make and model. I mean, people walked into the dealership and said, hey, that one in the mall with all the lights on it, drive it out, I want to buy it. And that was weird. That's like, I don't want a car with 1,000 handprints all over it, right? I wouldn't want to buy that. And so what we figured out was that by inviting people to touch it, you're increasing dwell time and all the stuff retailers know about, but we didn't have any clue, right? You're creating this touch experience and what we're calling emotive cognition. It's the principle that when you touch something and you buy it. When you try on clothes, you're more likely to have a conversion. When you take a test drive, you're going to convert. And so we're inviting people to do this in a public setting, and it's just selling the actual car. We're not even measuring the halo effect. So that was pretty crazy to us. We have a few of these around the country. One's in New York right now where you can actually have clients type in their phone number and it texts you information about their car, and they can now take the experience to go, which is kind of cool. Another really cool thing that we're doing, since touch screens have become our bread and butter, we can make larger than life touch screens. Again, nothing is installed on the car. Nothing is installed on this truck. But this is a 20-foot by 8-foot projection that we turned into a touch screen by using a camera, right? And so we did this job for Peterbilt. We went to one of their shows and we turned the side of a semi into a touch screen. What's really cool about this, because it's light only, we don't have to be directly on. We can projection map and have our camera anywhere we want. So we wrote all the algorithms ourselves, so we fully control that. If you take that a step further, you don't actually have to have your touch screen be tied to a display. I can actually pick up products off of a table or out of a shelf, and it starts reacting to me with a television somewhere. Or it just counts, hey, how many times this Star Wars toy has been touched? Please ignore all the logos on this screen. This is all fictitious. I forgot about that. This is just, huh? Well, okay, there you go. So, yeah, well, everyone saw it. Basically, we created touch glass. So we're Glass Media. Yes, Glass Media. We're working with licensing it to them. This was a really cool simulation video, but I forgot to take that out too, sorry. Basically, we've 3D printed these chips, and this is a project for Intel, where you go up and you can touch a wall, but you can also touch, it's in 3D, right? It's a 3D touch screen. So you can touch a chip and have the chip react, and we're projecting on the chip a surface that we can change to whatever we want. We're doing that with several other products around the country. And so we have, real quick, we're dealing with lots of Fortune 100 companies right now, dream come true clients. We're not really having to ask. Just kind of wanted to share the technology. So any questions? kind of too fast. I can't talk about all of them. They called us. I mean, it's unbelievable. Like, so we had this car in a mall, and we got like several major corporations contact us. We're partners with Panasonic. We're partners with NEC. We're partners with Intel. And they're like, man, we want to sell this. We couldn't be at CES, but we're probably going to go to some, I think it's Digital Signage Expo. It's the national yearly one. And we're most likely going to be in Intel's booth selling this stuff. So it's just crazy. Like, that was pretty amazing. Then we had companies come directly to us, so we're not actually selling through them, which is pretty cool. It just happened. I can't explain it.
So what's your lead time when you get a project?
So we're incredibly agile. The framework we built, we turn it on, and we have probably about a day to try to figure out if there's anything special we need to do. Like if we need to do a projection mapping of a face and make a mannequin interactive, that's a little harder than putting a screen on it. It takes 30 minutes right now. So content creation is, I'll tell you our process real quick. Content creation is our bottleneck, right? And so we have capabilities in-house. We have one of the guys that's on the board of Big Design, right? Just these leaders in the industry is our creative director, our chief creative officer. And so we can create it all, but we need about 2 to 3 weeks to create assets, like pretty significant assets, really deep ones. We partner with firms. We're happy because we have a framework, right? We don't care who creates the assets, right? If you have a creative firm and you want to build it all, it's so simple. You don't have to build buttons. You don't have to do all that. We do all of that on the cloud, just seamless. So really, anybody can use it. It's an incredibly flexible framework that works on any 3D or 2D object. And that's just the touch screen, right? I mean, we do facial recognition and detection. We have emotional detection, so we can tell if you're happy, sad, scared, whatever, when you're using this stuff. We can tell what the demographics are. We can do in-air gestures, which a lot of the big guys are focused on that. I mean, it's great for a true-false thing, but it's not that great. Mobile integration, our CTO came from the HoloLens team. Sorry, another question?
No. Yeah, so you say customers are coming to you. Awesome problem to have. What was the attraction? Was it the application that you used it on? You say you have a bottleneck with contents. So I mean, is there a specific avenue that they were looking at, or was it just that, oh, this would be really cool, maybe we can use this for something else and see where it goes?
So our problem is like, man, the sky's the limit. This is a land grab in terms of patents right now. We have several patents that have issued. We have about 83 that are pending right now. It's just massive. So, I mean, I can't tell you. We have people coming to us wanting to use it one way, and then somebody wanting to use it another. I can tell you one. So we had a CEO of a major company say he wanted to project himself like Tupac, right, as a hologram to all these venues. And so we're like, well, we kind of have this projection mapping thing. It's not touch, but we can detect him. And so we're like, yeah. So we put a proof of concept together, and we said, yeah, we can turn you into a hologram and project you wherever you want to go. Well, they didn't have enough time to accomplish that. So Zamani ran something for Tech Week called Surround Sound. And so they said, hey, what cool tech do you have? So we created holographic telepresence for that conference in about 8 hours because we already had the framework, right? And so we digitally ripped somebody out of their background and streamed them 200 feet away to the other side of the room where they could dance with each other as holograms. It was kind of fun. So yeah, and that's...
What about applications in maybe education or libraries or other places where you can learn?
Yeah, we've talked with a few museums, two, and no, that's okay. No, not the Pro Museum. I know the people, we're just too busy right now for them, but training is another huge one people are always interested in. The problem is, man, we're at this weird stage now where we're not swimming in money. We're self-funded. Right? We went through that whole stage, got a low valuation. We said, forget it, let's do it ourselves. So glad we did. Yeah, real quick. Sorry. just keep swimming. I don't know. Well, it's not like we're swimming in these tens of millions of dollars just yet. We're spending a ton of capital on acquiring those contracts.
Appreciate it. Well done. That was great.